Wild hog and deer stir fry on a 1/4-inch steel plate. William Hovey Smith, 2015. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, and this cooking demonstration took place on a How to Become an Outdoor Communicator seminar, and here are the participants.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman, and today we're going to show you a new grilling method about sheet iron cooking. Now, this particular manifestation is a piece of 1/4-inch cold rolled steel with some stock welded around it to keep the stock from scooting all off whilst you move it. What we're going to cook today is a stir fry, and we have some wild hog meat and we have some venison backstrap, both from Ossabaw Island, Georgia, and we also have a deer stew that's already made and frozen that we're going to thaw simultaneously in this other pot. This segment is brought to you by SIN, Synthetic Industrial Non-Nutritives, Inc. At SIN, we take the best of coal, petroleum, and agricultural waste byproducts, and we make edibles out of them. Using our basic raw material glop, you can have anything you want, anyhow you want it. You want a red, white, and blue turkey? Guess what? We can do one for you. Yeah. And you can have one of these for Thanksgiving. Just put in your order early, and it will give you the salt, butter, and sugar taste that you crave in something that you don't have to refrigerate and you doesn't spoil. All you have to do is just heat it a little bit and cut it, and you have your red, white, and blue turkey. Remember, for edibles, think SIN.
When you're cooking a stir fry, the first thing you probably want to do is to go ahead and get your meat started. So we're going to be about doing that. And we have a knife here. This happens to be pork that I'm putting on here right now. And it is starting to move around. There's a fat layer on the bottom of this piece of backstrap. Now, when it is aged a little bit, you see some slight brown discoloration, and that you want to move. So I'm going to stab it a little bit and take off this discolored part right here. Push these off to the side. We won't eat that. It's not deadly or dangerous or anything. It's just a little bit oxidized. And we've got plenty of good meat here, so we don't need to use it. Now you can see this stuff is starting to go. Yeah, that's cooking, guys. Now with backstraps, you take them and you cut them like this. And you cut alongside the silver skin at the bottom, and you need a thin knife. And you want to make sure that, of course, your meat is thawed all the way through. And so we proceed. So now we have the back straps of the pork taken apart, and this base right here. Now this has quite a bit of fat on it, which is useful. So we're just going to put that fat over here on the side and put these in a cooler part of the grill and let them cook slower while we start on the deer. And we do it exactly the same way. We've got the meat going here, and we've got it over here slowly cooking on the cooler side of the grill. And we're going to take our cuttings here and put them out of the way in this little pan to save for certain four-legged creatures who like them very much. Yeah, they don't mind that they're a little bit stringy. So, okay, these go over here for hound doggies. And we start on our vegetables. When you're doing the vegetables, the first thing you want to start with is your longest cooking things, which are your potatoes and carrots. Now I've obviously already diced these and put them in plastic bags. And incidentally, the stew is now starting to get warm too. And it's starting to look good. And put our veggies here in direct contact with the hottest part of the fire, right here in the middle. And it takes the carrots and potatoes a little while to get going. So you can take a little rest for a while, but once they're done, the rest of it starts going pretty fast. So now that we've got the potatoes and the carrots well started, we're going to start on the other vegetables. So you put on the next ones that takes longest to cook, and that are these string beans. And so we've got our string beans here, and we're going to get those started, get them nicely brought up, let them get some heat. Get them up here in the flame. Put some of our other stuff back a little bit. Things are starting to look good now. The meat, most of it is nearly done. Not quite all, but nearly. Getting there. Okay, that's the string beans. And we'll leave them on for a while. Now that we've got the string beans well going, we're going to add the onions. And also garlic. Now, I don't think you can put too many onions in a stir fry. I just don't think it's possible. The onions will give some sweetness to the mix as they caramelize. Although it may sound strange for some people, it does. And so we'll get the onions in here, and it's going to start smelling like food. And I mean, we're going to start drawing some folks around here. We'll shortly have the Holy Trinity of Cajun cooking. So now, we're going to also put on peppers. So we have onions, garlic, bell peppers, as well as Anaheim peppers. And the Anaheim peppers are just a little bit hot. Not too much, but just a little bit. All right. Now it's just patiently working this until we get them down. And now that we come very near the end, how are we doing? Well, the stew here is getting warm. It's thawed, but it's still pretty cold. So it needs to move more toward the center of the fire. But the stir fry itself is doing pretty good. But what we have not added is salt and pepper and soy sauce. So this is a stage that you add that. How much? Well, about this much to start with. You know you don't have enough if you don't taste it. If the material is still fresh tasting, then you haven't got quite enough salt. But you have to be pretty cautious because this soy sauce is pretty salty too. So you don't want to overdo either one or the other, or you'll run into trouble in a hurry. And you don't add your soy sauce too early because it will burn to the bottom of the pan. You want it mixed, but you don't want it dwelling on the pan for an awful long time. Now we'll see how we do, and perhaps even have a first taste. I'm going to take the stew pot and put it directly over the flame so it'll heat up faster. But the stir fry is done and hog meat is done.
Well, and now we're ready to serve. So here we are, a nice, delicious, well-cooked stir fry. And our stew, we're going to have to put on the coals for a while longer. It's just not quite done. But we'll serve the stir fry and then heat the rest of the stew and finish our meal. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Now you can put almost anything in a stir fry. Now this one of course had the hog meat and the deer meat and the rest of the vegetables that are listed below in their approximate amounts that I use them. Don't take this as gospel, however, but this is what worked in this particular dish. Now there is more to follow, and so stay with me while we go ahead and finish the video, because there are some significant things coming up. All right, now here's what it looked like at the end. Now, among my prize-winning books are crossbow hunting, as well as extreme muzzleloading, and I have a e-book series on muzzleloading guns, including hunting big and small game with muzzleloading pistols, and these animals that we ate were actually taken with them. Now, here are the seminar participants who acted as my video crew. Now, they took part in it and took the functions of a usual film crew while we were doing this. Now, they gave this seminar a very high rating. I'm going to hold another one next year. To get notification, write me and I'll send it to you. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye and God bless.